Can Zeke deke again? It's the coach. You're watching Madden Football on EA Sports. Coming up, Ezekiel Elliott, fresh off 100 yards a week ago. It'll be the Green Bay Packers taking on the Dallas Cowboys. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half. But it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Just a gorgeous fall afternoon in the heart of Texas. No weather to speak of. Sun out, roof open. Yes, yes, and yes. A great day for football at AT&T Stadium in Arlington. A moment ago, here was the scene with the Cowboys emerging from their tunnel. It was loud. It's still loud. We're ready for football as the Cowboys get set to match up with Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. Hello again, everyone. I'm Brandon Godden, joined as always by Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Cowboy team entering play. They come off a disappointment last time out that put an end to their modest 3-game win streak. Meanwhile, for the visiting Packers, it's been all systems go in this first month. They're off to a 4-0 start.
And it's got folks believing that this is a team that's built to go all the way. You can't win the Super Bowl in September, but they're telling everyone that they're going to be there in the end.
Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Cowboys take over with their fourth-year quarterback, Dak Prescott, at the helm. The passing yards a career high last year, close to 3,900, but protection was a problem for Dak Prescott. His 56 sacks taken were one fewer than his previous 2 years combined. They run with Ezekiel Elliott, last year's NFL rushing leader. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. Kevin King coming up from the secondary to make the play.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
On second down, Elliott trying to run inside, but nothing there. And the offensive starters for Dallas.
I can't help but chuckle a little bit every time I think about Zach Martin and the controversy, air quotes there, about him being picked by the Cowboys, because many thought that another player was going to be picked in that spot, but they made the right call in getting Zach Martin. Versatile player, played guard and tackle in college, and uses that versatility.
Packer pressure, and down he goes. Rashawn Gary racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. Getting into the act on the opening drive here with a sack. And remember, they had 5 last week.
And they saw that on film, and that meant that they had to get together. Offensive coordinator, quarterbacks coach, offensive line coach, receivers coach, and say, how do we beat this pressure? Because everyone has to win against the defense and get the ball at the hands of the quarterback very quickly.
Davis now to return it. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10. Just shy of midfield at the 48.
Hey, Steve 6.
Now Rodgers. They'll get this complete to the Notre Dame man, Equinemius St. Brown. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, and tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
But that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
After the made field goal, now Crosby will do the kickoff duties. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically, what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Prescott. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Michael Gallup, that's who he was looking for. And now it's 3rd down. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
The threat of a 2nd straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Kenny Clark drops him for a loss of 10, and it's going to be 4th and long. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Check. Watch the before. Here we go, D. Here I come again.
Here's a give to Jones running left. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
It's a gain of 16 and a 1st down for the green and gold. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it, live to fight another down.
Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. Oh, he almost had it for the pick. A great chance there for the interception in the end zone. Instead, 3rd down.
Not only did they drop, it looked like an interception in the end zone, they blew a golden opportunity to shift the momentum.
His first catch, good for 16 and a 1st.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 14.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Rodgers into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Leighton Vander Esch. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
The numbers for Zeke from last week. 3 touchdowns on the ground, and then, Charles, he threw one in through the air for good measure.
Yeah, you know you have to account for him in all situations. I mean, we know he can run the heck out of the football. You just noted what he did. But how about him being able to get out of the backfield, catch it, and get into the end zone as well?
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
On 2nd down now, it's Elliott. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 11 yards there, 1st down. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a 2nd time.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in his first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job. They're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there at 22. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Prescott now under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Preston Smith make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Prescott from the gun on 3rd. He's got his target. It's Cobb. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a 1st down. Now back to the ground with Elliott. Shedding the tackler, and it gives him some room. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's another 10 yards on that one and another 1st down. A tough run by Ezekiel Elliott, the 4th overall pick in the 2016 draft.
If you watch tape of him in college, you saw plenty of those runs because I know the highlights showed him in the open field breaking away from people, but that's how he wore down defenses, those exact type of runs.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Throwing, Prescott. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack. Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they're dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. 2nd quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait in, enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. Prescott to throw it. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So on 4th down, on comes the Dallas kicker, Brett Maher. Maher able to put this one through, and that will tie us at 3-3. Of course, the door for Maher was opened after a little bit of a surprise move. The Cowboys letting go of Dan Bailey last year.
Yeah, Maher took over in the preseason. He's from Nebraska via the Canadian Football League where he kicked for 4 years, and I saw him personally make 2 game-winning field goals last season against Detroit and in Atlanta.
Aaron Rodgers, he's getting ready to go again here on offense. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup. 1st down now, but that clock rolling.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole.
Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Defensive end DeMarcus Lawrence applied the heat. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. First down now, but the clock continues to move. Rodgers now to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Adams. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A well-executed 22-yard gain. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. He made his first attempt, this from 45. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle, and that will do it for this first half. So if you like field goals, this is your game. 6-3, 3 field goals at the break. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you, too, in just a bit. But first, let's get everybody caught up with what's going on around the NFL here in Week 5. We'll begin up north at MetLife Stadium over in New Jersey, where it was the Giants who pick up the victory at home. Saquon Barkley, nearly 200 yards on the ground with 2 touchdowns as well. Next, we'll stay in the Northeast as we head down to FedEx Field in Washington to check in on the Redskins. And things didn't work out so well as they fall to the visiting New England Patriots. 28-12, final score. Finally, let's get out to the Bay Area, see what's happening with the Raiders at home in Oakland. And they were winners in that one as they take care of the visiting Chicago Bears. Ryan Grant, well over 100 yards receiving with 3 touchdown catches. In our game has been Aaron Rodgers, who was on target in the first half. His guys lead, though by only a field goal. Still anybody's game, as we send it back to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these 2 teams as we come back for this second half. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the third quarter. Then he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. A reminder about Sunday Night Football later tonight. It's a rematch from the divisional round last year. Colts and Chiefs from Arrowhead. Then tomorrow on Monday night, the Browns and 49ers from Levi's Stadium, with the Browns already playing their 3rd primetime game in the season's first 5 weeks. He'll have a first down past the 40 as he'll get this one up to the 44-yard line. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Now a first down carry by Jones. Trying to turn the corner, but he's going to be stopped right near the line of scrimmage. Jalen Smith, the Notre Dame man, in on the tackle. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Now Rodgers throwing on second down. To the tight end and complete. It's Sternberger over the middle. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the ball, as we just saw there.
Here's Rodgers to throw. Open man right side is St. Brown. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total. Nothing flashy there. The slant to the slot.
Oh, and the frustration for the defensive guys, because it's a quick play. And you know it's going to be a bang-bang play in terms of the throw and the catch. And then he's able to absorb the contact to complete it.
A gain of 3, second down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Jim. Quick dash.
On second down, it's Jones. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Aaron Jones, his first touchdown on the year. And the Packers add 6 to their lead. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown, because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time, they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a first rush coming, and he's taken down. Rashawn Gary, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a second down and 17.
Under 10, 10.
10th carry now for Elliott. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Here's Prescott. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Preston Smith in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards. And the Packers will have a short field to work with here as they take over 1st and 10.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
They'll try and get the running game going with Jones. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Eight yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2.
Watch out.
Again, it's Jones. And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the 1st down.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
Now, 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a 1st down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Hey, 626. Hey, Charlie.
Now they'll throw with Rodgers. He'll get this one to the Golden Domer, St. Brown. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. It's a gain of 16 and a 1st down for the green and gold. On 1st down, it's Jones. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a...
And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. Aaron Jones with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Packers add on to their lead.
That drive increased their cushion. Felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Dallas offense now, heading back out onto the field. And here we are almost through 3 quarters. Play in this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Throwing on 2nd and 14. Prescott throwing the out route incomplete. It's Cobb.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one as a receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. Jair Alexander that time able to knock that one away. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. Now, no reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. 1st down, Prescott. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. Prescott stripped.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
You got the big lead defensively. willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
The Cowboys on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This will be 3rd and a mile. Throwing the out route and complete. That's Cobb. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. The Cowboys will go. Prescott. This is Cobb with a catch right side. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. It doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
But when you hit him on the move like that, he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam. Oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
A gain of 13. It's a first down. Prescott now 13 of 16 throwing the football. It's 1st and 10. Now Prescott. Catch made there by Derby, the tight end. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
How about the timing on that one, where they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, ball's out of his hands, right to...
And that is caught. It's Witten for the Cowboy touchdown. Jason Witten, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys cut into that lead. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
Extra point by Moore, up and good. And that'll make this now an 11-point deficit.
Defense.
Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. And this one's going to be covered up by the Packers hands team. Well, for a second there, I had flashbacks to a few years ago, the NFC Championship game for the Packers, but here they're able to hold on.
And many things changed in Green Bay after that game. Personnel, people coaching, the whole deal. And in this case, they get it done. No fail like they had in Seattle.
And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. On first down, Rodgers. And all this is taken in one-handed. What a catch.
Let's go. Let's do it.
So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Rodgers now 11 of 15 through the air. Here's 1st and 10.
He's checking credit.
Recon, 132 fighter. Inside. Cat 300. Cat 300. Hey, Haywood.
Rodgers looking to throw. Now that'll be caught by St. Brown. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop. 1:50 left in the football game. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
I got
The give is to Jones. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Packers on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Back to throw, Rodgers. And that will be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And that will stretch the lead up to 13. So they settle for just the 3. But clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off. But they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
After the made field goal, now Crosby will do the kickoff duties. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So Dak Prescott in the offense. Down by 13. A minute 38 to go. It's been a struggle to score all day, and now they need to do it twice here late to have a chance. Last year, Dak Prescott had 3 fourth-quarter comebacks, and he's in search of another one right now. Prescott on 1st down. And he's got Cooper on the out route. That's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards.
It's funny when I go back to our pregame meeting with Amari Cooper, and we mentioned, what if they play man coverage against you? He almost seemed offended by it, didn't he?
I'll beat it. That's basically what it said, right?
I mean, the best receivers we've ever talked to and covered, when you talk about covering them with one guy, they think that's a personal affront. If they feel like they can't just beat one defender, then they're not very good.
That one complete to Elliott. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll make it a 2nd down. To throw is Prescott. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Cooper. And he's taken down inside the 30. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10. Well, as always, partner, an extreme pleasure to share a booth with you. I have to say, I am impressed at your discipline because you came here and you said you were not going to eat any of the media buffet. You made it to the end. You didn't consume a single calorie.
I appreciate that. What you missed is me going to the concession stand outside of your eyesight and getting it done that way. Look, I mean, they were serving the good stuff. I had to do it.
Oh, man, but you're svelte, in good shape, but yeah, you cheated a little bit. We'll let it slide.
I appreciate that. Always a pleasure to work with you.
So for the Packers, their strong September has carried over to October as they move to 5-0. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, the loss will move them back to 3-2.